I really hope with all of these videos that you can explore different sounds, characters, phrasing, articulations with your students. This makes practicing a lot more fun and makes music so engaging when we do this with our students. So let's take a look at some more kickoff touch releases. These two pieces that I'd like to look at right now are in the All-in-One Approach to Succeeding at the Piano, Book 2C. Let's take a look at page 8. It's a G major review piece, and it's a Toccatina. And here, throughout the work, I put little icons so that students can remember what kind of physical gestures work really well in those spots. So we have kickoffs, we have push-offs, and woodpecker touch releases. So there are all kinds of places in here with staccato that can have different sounds depending on how they approach the key, how they play it, and how they release from the key. So I'm going to stop when I get to the first couple kickoffs. All right, so those are two really nicely, strongly played kickoffs. And if I did a woodpecker touch release instead, well, either it's going to sound too harsh or it's going to sound too slow or too long. And that's when teachers ask me, why do my students sound like they're stuck in the mud? It's because they're not using their wrist in a way to create a really good staccato, short, detached sound. It's very difficult to play staccato when the student goes all the way down to the bottom of the keys and then can't get out of the keys. So always remember that staccato motions are up motions. So then we keep going. Wow, I just noticed something. The left hand feels really good with reverse kickoffs. So just imagine those kickoffs, instead of going towards the wood of the piano, they're going towards, backwards toward the student's body. Oh, that feels so good. And then did you notice this push off? Oh. And two nice push-offs at the end. All right, so now let's take a look at page 46 together. Of course, there are other pieces throughout all of these books that use these various touch releases, but I'm just going to choose a couple for now. So here's the Blue Danube Waltz by Johann Strauss Jr. from Vienna. And here we're in the key of D major. The student is playing some very nice, light waltz basses. So perfect place to think about a forward motion going forward and then off. And then at the end of the first line, I discuss transferring the student's weight or shifting the weight so that the arm and the wrist are directly behind each finger that plays, so that each finger is supported by the bigger muscles. I'll play this whole piece for you later, and at the very end, there's actually a long dotted quarter note. So the student can certainly drop to the bottom of the keys, and then they could push off, and then the very last chord is a push off. I'm going to do that again. And really look at my playing apparatus. And while the student is repeating, you could ask them to clarify where that melodic line is, what the balance is between the hands, so they can always be thinking of listening to something as well as listening to the staccato approaches. So here we go. gosh. And you can discover with your students if any other touch releases work at the end. If they did all woodpeckers, that's really an average student playing, right? If they used 2 push-offs at the end, a little bit too much motion. If they use 2 kickoffs at the end, it's a little harsh and not long enough for that last beat. So it makes a lot more sense to drop, kick off, and then push off. Hope you are enjoying these, and always experiment with your students so that they get the idea that they must always listen and observe what their playing apparatus is doing to get the right sound.